Hi, this is Sandra, and I am going to be talking about the failures in the death penalty system in Texas. The death penalty system in Texas has been criticized for its unfairness and its unreliability. Six people have been executed and later been found to be innocent, and 18 people who have been already convicted have been exonerated. But in this case, I am going to be discussing the case of Cameron Todd Willingham. On October 29th of 1992, Cameron was convicted of arson-related triple homicide and he was executed on February 17th of 2004. The human factors that I found in this case was the confirmation bias, lack of awareness, lack of communication, culture, parsimonies, poor decision making, and ethics. Confirmation bias. This was related to Manuel Vasquez. He was the arson investigator and he knew about Cameron's criminal past. Therefore, he went into the investigation with his mind already made up about Cameron intentionally starting the house fire to get rid of his children. He looked for any evidence that pointed out to him that Cameron was the person who did it. Johnny Webb was the person who testified against him. He testified that Cameron confessed to him that he had started the intentionally the fire to get rid of his children. So this lack of communication between him and other people who were looking for the truth affected Cameron. John Jackson was the prosecutor of this case, of Cameron's case, and he offered Johnny Webb a deal. He told him that if he was to testify against him and said that Cameron confessed to him, he was going to receive a reduced sentence and get out of prison sooner. Lack of awareness was for James Gregson. James Gregson was a psychiatrist, and he never talked or evaluated Cameron. But he testified against him and said that according or based on his status, Cameron's status, he was able to diagnose him with a severe case of psychopathy. Therefore, he said, I am able to say that he did commit this crime because he does not have any feelings and he wanted to get rid of his children. The culture of the system is another human factor that played fact on this because the culture was corrupted. Nobody questioned what Manuel said. Nobody questioned what John Jackson brought as evidence. Nobody questioned the reliability of the testimony of Johnny Webb. So it was a culture of corruption. Parsimonies is another human factor because nobody proposed the easy um, truth, the easy way, or the simplest explanation, the possible explanation, the easiest, simplest possible explanation, which was okay, there was a heater in the little girl's rooms, and nobody looked at that. Everybody believed what Manuel said. So the other one is poor decision making because the governor was also involved. He was sent a letter whenever Elizabeth Gilbert was able to find the truth, hiring a actual scientist to revise the case, and he came up with the conclusion that it was not arson, that it was the heater the heater in the little girl's room that started the fire. Um, so whenever they sent that letter to the governor never read it or totally ignored it, and it ended up in the execution of Cameron. And the other one is ethics. I understand that prosecution the prosecution have to make everything possible to convict, make a jurors convict a person. But he did not have to go above and beyond to make Johnny Webb testify against Cameron. The other part of ethics is of James. James testified against him without even evaluating him. Um, but he's not the only one who has been executed being innocent. These six people that you see here in this slide were executed and later be found to be innocent. So, do we want to rely on our system, the United States system, to put our lives or people's life into their hands? Probably not. Thank you.